Join us in sharing intriguing stories from our museum's collections and the Highline Times with host Roger Price on 106.5 Low Power FM, One America Voice. You can find us online too, www.kqwzradio.org. Join us in sharing intriguing stories from our museum's collections.
Hi, I'm Roger Price, and I'm a volunteer here at the Highline Heritage Museum. And today I'm here with Daniel, and we're going to talk about what used to be down by the Highline Bowling Alley. Next door was the Burien Archery Lanes, which opened up in 1961, and it was kind of configured like a bowling alley, all except that you shot at targets, and then when you hit the targets, you could have the target return to you, and then you could retrieve your arrows that way, and then send it back down again. So it was kind of fun, and they used to kind of rent these things by the hour, I believe. And they had a pro shop there at the place where you could pick out if you wanted to buy a bow, or you could rent it and different things. So some of the distances it ranged from like 20 feet to, I believe, around 90 feet. And there were 16 double lanes there, so it could hold 32 people at one time. And then they also had seating there for another 125 people back in the kind of a balcony area or seating area. But yeah, it was popular right out of the gate, and it was kind of a recreation that a lot of people could do. Kids could do it, adults could do it. I think they might have had leagues there at one time. So there was a very, very fun deal. So they also had magnets that were suspended from the ceiling, and they would come along and pick up loose arrows from the people that their shots weren't so great, but they would retrieve the loose arrows that way. So it was a kind of a fun deal. But yeah, I think the archery lanes it lasted for it was there for several years. So I don't know, maybe Daniel has a couple questions about the archery lanes, but I guess I was probably about 12 years old at the time. So I went down there, and my cousin and we used to go down there now and then and shoot at the targets, and it was a lot of fun. But and it wasn't too far from where I lived, so I could walk down there, and it's something different rather than and the bowling alley was right next door, so it was always if you wanted to bowl, you could do that, or if you wanted to shoot arrows, you could do that. But yeah, that's what we kind of did.
Oh, nice. And so, how was your aim? Did you get a pretty good score?
I believe I was kind of average. I'm sure I was not any marksman by any means, but yeah, that was that's hard to. I can't remember, but I think I could hit the target anyway somewhere. Don't know if I got any bullseyes, but no, it was fun anyway.
Hey, I mean, that's a step up from a fair number of people that couldn't hit it at all. So,
Yeah,
good.
yeah. You
Hey,
get all different varieties of from expert on down to novice or whatever. So you never know what you were gonna end up with. But I never purchased a bow or anything or bought any of the equipment. I usually just you could just to kind of rent it for the time you're there, and so it wasn't a great expense anyway.
no, that's not bad. I had taken a couple of archery classes when I was in college, and I had also done it a little bit when I was still in Boy Scouts.
Oh, yeah, well, that would be fun, sure. Yeah, Boy Scouts taught a lot of different things, so yeah, you probably enjoyed that. And I think you mentioned it also that you took it when you were still in living in New Mexico. You took it in college, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, just for all your degrees, you have to have a couple of like physical education classes, and so I took archery as my physical education class.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, that's kind of like when I was going to Green River Community College. I took skiing for a PE class, and that was fun. And then I took another PE class was golf, so you got to uh, you know get your skills together on the slopes or on the golf course and get a credit for it besides. So it was fun.
Oh, that's not bad. We might have had golfing. If we wanted to do skiing, it would have had to have been over in one of the about an hour or two over in the mountains, because in Las Cruces, not too much snow
Oh,
or
oh,
hills.
oh,
But you know, if we went over to Cloudcroft or Rio Doso, which is like maybe 2 hours away, we could, but
uh-huh.
a bit long of a commute for class.
Yeah, that's a long commute, all right, but yeah, the option was there, but you just didn't you'd have to make a day out of it for sure. Yeah. So, but back to the archery lanes, it eventually they also turned it into a dance hall uh place there for teenagers, and it was the Target Ballroom, which goes along with the name uh for the archery lanes. But yeah, they had a lot of big bands there that played there uh, during the middle '60s, I believe. There was maybe I think Johnny Crawford was there one time too. I don't remember, but I think he was one of the young child actor in The Rifleman, I remember. And there were a lot of groups, probably maybe Paul Revere and the Raiders, and possibly the Sonics. I think Marilee Rush might have sang there in the turnabouts. But I can't remember all the names and groups that were there, but there was a bunch of them. So it turned out, and they used to, on Fridays and Saturdays, they had a big spotlight, and it would shine up in the sky, and people knew there was it's a dance going on there. So a lot of fun there. But I went there a few times just to kind of check it out, and I believe that was high school or just out of high school, right in that time frame somewhere. So no, it was good to do.
Nice, nice. Hopefully the dance hall wasn't also a archery range at the same time, though it might make dancing more exciting.
Yeah, it was in a little more difficult to dodge arrows at the same time, but no, it was it worked out fine. I never heard of anybody. Yeah, I never heard of whether it was an archery or the dance. I never heard of anybody getting hurt or anything. But although I think there was a few bright fights that broke out there uh, before the Target finally ended up closing. But yeah, it was good entertainment.
Nice. And so, are there any more like archery lanes here, or I mean, I'm assuming there's dance halls, but not that one, I guess.
I don't think there are any, as far as I can recall. I don't remember hearing about it anymore in other parts of the county or the north end of Seattle, or maybe the Federal Way or anything like that. I don't recall ever hearing about that. There were dance air halls and different things in the area back in those days. I know there was a Parker's Ballroom out in Aurora that was very popular, and then there was the Spanish Castle out in Midway that also was a very popular place, and the bands that were came there were they were real big name bands. I know that I believe Jimi Hendrix actually got his start kind of at the Spanish Castle and different things. So they attracted, and the building was it was shaped similar to a castle, so it had its appeal that way. And it was there from, I believe, from the 30s all the way up till the 60s, I'm thinking. But I never went there. I was a little too young, but that was also a very popular hangout. So that was kind of the thing back at that time. A lot of more people listened to music back in those days also. So
Yeah, yeah. And so, any idea what's standing there now?
let me see, what is there? Well, I believe it's in the location near where the Walgreens is now out on the highway. And there used to be also, I think it was called the Blockhouse Restaurant, I believe. So, yeah, it was Midway was kind of a area there. So it's halfway between, I think it is considered halfway between Seattle and Tacoma. Uh,
Nice, nice. And for the archery lane, what's there now?
Oh, I don't, actually, it's the Highline School District owns that property and the buildings down there. They recently bought out the bowling alley here a few years back, and they used it for administration. And then I think they kept either 4 or 8 lanes open for uh, kids to use for, maybe it's a PE class or something there. But yeah, it's still there, and the building that was actually where the archery is, some people said it's part of what's the building there now, but I kind of think possibly it was torn down and the new one was built there, right in there where the Highline administration buildings are. So it's right off of Ambom down there towards Five Corners and across from the Azteca, and it's uh, been there for a number of years now.
Well, still, it's good to know what used to be there. It's great to hear the kind of these stories on that.
Uh-huh.
Is there anything else you want to talk about them today?
Well, let's see. Across the street, there was actually from the bowling alley and the archery. There was actually a mini bowling alley in there that was on about 157th, I believe, across what is now the Value Village, and I believe there was also a mini bowling alley in there for a few years. This is way back in the 60s also. So there was different activities around where we are today here at the museum. There was back in uh, the 50s and 60s, there was a Bartell here at one time. And when Bartell pulled out of this building, there was a putt-putt golf in here for I think around a year or two. Wasn't here long, but they set it up so you could come in here and come in and do putt-putt golf. They had a regular course set up that I don't remember doing it, but I know I've seen different layouts of it and pictures of it, so it was a lot of fun. And then after that, it became several things. I think Pacific Iron and Metal, Fabrics, so for a number of years. So anyway, that's for another day.
Yeah. No, well, still very interesting. If there's nothing else, or do you?
I think that yeah, I think that kind of does it. Just wanted to kind of talk about the old archery lanes that was there. Probably it was probably there for maybe 6 or 7, 8 years. So uh, that was fun in that time.
Yeah, well,
Okay, well, thank you, Daniel, and we will see you again next time.
yep. See you all next time.